want to know is if I would be able to, um, I guess, send additional information afterwards if necessary. But
Sure,
outside of that,
definitely.
I think I'm pretty good.
Amazing. Yes, definitely. We're welcome any other comments and additions to our storyline. Ultimately, we want to feature you, Stephen, and the company in the best line possible. So please feel free to add if you have any other things that you would like to highlight in the edition as well.
Sure. Sounds good.
Amazing. So yeah, in the interest of time, let's dive into the interview. So yeah, I would love to understand and also to start the interview with a more broad question with you,
Sure.
Stephen. Can you please give us a bit of introduction about yourself and why did you start the company at the first place, please?
Oh, sure. So my name is, well, let me start over. So my title, I go by Stephan Brown.
Mm,
Um, to distinguish myself from my father, who was also a very accomplished businessman in the Bahamas and the Caribbean, and actually in the global enviroscape as a cardiologist, and I guess just great business person. But to distinguish myself from him, I go by Stephan Brown, and my company.
right.
I started my company back in 2014 as a way to provide myself an opportunity to enter the world of IT or information technology. Because I knew coming out of college, there's great difficulty in um, in getting into a good job, right? In that
Mm,
field. Sorry, give me 1 second. Let me just check who's calling. 1 second, sorry.
sure. It's okay.
Sorry, Tan, just give me 1 minute. Someone's just coming to pick up something from me.
Yes, please take the time.
All right, thank you. Hi, Dan. Sorry about that.
No worries. It's totally fine. Is everything all
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, I'm good now. I just had to give a document to somebody. So yeah, I'm good now.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Right.
So I was giving you some information about the company. So yeah, so basically the company was started because I knew of how difficult it would have been to enter the market as a
Yeah.
young professional of sorts. Uh,
Mm,
first job, programmer, etc. Lack of experience, lack of uh what do you call it, job. Um
yeah.
yeah, all that great stuff, right? So that was the primary reason why we opened the company. Um but additionally, because I wanted that independence that I could have produced what I wanted to produce,
Yeah.
right? So the beautiful thing about programming is that it gives you the freedom to be creative, and it
Mm,
allows you to develop innovative ideas that just kind of spring in your mind. And as long as you have the skill set to actually produce it, or at least the access to the resources, including human resources, it allows you the opportunity to now produce these things at a different level, right? So that was the primary reason why I decided to go into opening my own company as opposed to working for somebody else.
right. Yeah, so that's very wonderful. So why don't you give us a bit introduction about the company, right? What is the vision of the company? Why it was started? I know the story about you wanting to found your own values and your own separation from your father, hence the name as well as the company. But is there a problem or a pain point that the company was founded to serve? So can you please share a bit about the inception story of the company as well?
Sure. So the company at the time, there were very few mobile app development companies in the Bahamas,
Yes.
dedicated mobile app development companies in particular, as well as there were even less game development companies at the time. So
Mm,
my company would have been one of the very first companies in the Bahamas that offered dedicated mobile app development services.
yeah.
Definitely one of the first that offered dedicated game development services. And we created the company to fill that gap. So the company, as I mentioned, was founded in 2014. In November, we would have celebrated 10 years. Um, you know, we pride ourselves on developing innovative tech solutions. We focus
Mm,
primarily now on e-commerce digital solutions to help fill that gap in the Bahamas that persons are having where they want to spread their reach and sell their products, but they are limiting themselves to a say a brick and mortar foot traffic
mm,
type of environment. So what I'm setting out to do is encourage persons to get involved with digital payments and e-commerce digital solutions, and
yeah.
of course, um, take on that element in their organization to then expand their reach by selling their products and services online.
Mm, yes, amazing. Right. So based on your experience, so what do you think is the most, so let me rephrase it. So in your experience, what are the key factors that contribute to successful implementation of IT solutions that can offers revenue generation, and how have you applied all of these experiences in your new company?
Okay, what contributes? So basically, it kind of boils down to what's the purpose of your solution, your desired solution, right? Because if let's say for example, a company wants an application that allows them to sell products, then their
Mm,
end goal is to, of course, make money through the sale of products. But if
yeah.
they want to, let's say, increase brand awareness, then it does not necessarily need to be an application that is selling a product, but more so informing people about what it is that they're looking to do. So, based on our core focuses and values, Our core values would be passion and commitment,
Mm,
innovation, a customer-centric approach, honest and open communication, and trustworthiness. Because we want to, with every product or every project,
yeah.
um, we want to put clients at the heart of all that we do, right? So we want to ensure that we build that trust and transparency, uphold reliability and integrity, and we
Mm,
drive every project with dedication and enthusiasm to ensure that we are delivering an innovative product every time, because each customer deserves the best, right? So irrespective of where that customer lies on the social chain, right, on the social economic chain, um, they still deserve to receive good quality service. So we,
mm,
irrespective of where you are or who you are, we provide you the same service every time. We give you our best and nothing but, because at the end of the day, you are a customer and each customer is treated like a family member.
yeah. That's really amazing. Thanks so much, Stephen, for sharing that story. It's also very wonderful to hear the transitioning of the company from a small hardware repair shop to a one-stop shop for technology services. That is clearly one of the vision of the company right now. But let's take a step back. During the early transition to offering a website and app development, I guess in early 2015. So, what were some of the biggest hurdles that you faced during that transition, and how did you overcome them?
So some of the biggest hurdles we faced was increasing our own brand awareness, right?
Right.
Um, Informing people about who we are, what we offer, how we can help your business. Um, and then of course the other big hurdle was adoption of our brand into our society, because of course with us being a young company, persons were a
Mm,
bit apprehensive to taking us on.
yeah.
And understandably so, because of the age of our company, we are offering something new.
Mm,
Um, but you know how we overcame that was through our products. We allowed our work to speak for itself, right? So,
mm,
as I mentioned, we aim to create good or excellent quality products every time, and our work itself was it was a catalyst that allowed persons to say, let me refer you to so and so, let me refer you to else, so to everybody else, right? And
mm,
you know, we then took advantage of things like social media, um, working with key clients and different things that allowed us to then be getting that good word of mouth referral that then allowed us to scale and grow. So you know, we've always targeted and catered to the entrepreneurs and the small medium business clients, but we also
yes.
targeted the enterprise level client as well as the government and the NGOs as well. So that way, you know, we're able to effectively offer our services across the board, but you know, through strategic positioning and um, getting into the doors of a few good clients, it allowed us to expand our reaches phenomenally.
Mm, yes. That's really wonderful. So and it's really shows in the culture that the team has built in delivering a very customer centric approach and empowering innovation within the team. So I want to change the gears a bit and understand
Sure.
how you as a leader in the IT professionals can foster collaboration and empowerment within cross-functional teams. And we all know that in a startup or for young companies like CSB, resources are limited, right? So how do you share? Can you share an example of successful outcomes in managing and leading the team of limited resources? Yeah, to delivering innovations.
Yeah, sure. So when we first started out, you know, the access to skilled developers and um, other team members was limited. So what I immediately did was I actually went abroad and I looked for international partners who I could work with. And in let's say 3 months, I was able to hire my first international employee who
Wow.
worked with me from Brazil. And he and I worked together for a year. And
Mm,
then shortly afterwards, I then started working with others, and locally, I started to involve others in our market here in the Bahamas, so that I
yeah.
can help to one promote local talent, and then two also try to keep some of those things in house in country,
Mm,
some of those resources. Um, but our team now it consists of a talented group of front end, back end, and full stack developers, as well as designers and project managers. And
right.
like you mentioned, we always try to foster innovation, collaboration, and continuous professional development, because at the end of the day, we want to ensure that our team is skilled and equipped to
Yeah.
handle anything that comes our way. So we now work with persons locally and internationally. We
Mm,
have full-time staff locally, as well as in Italy, Canada, the United States, and we also work with a few companies in other jurisdictions as well, who we've been forming strategic partnerships with over the years.
right. Yeah. So, can you share with our readers an instance where your vision and leadership directly influenced the success of a major client project or internal milestone?
Yes, actually I can. So, um, this will be a two or yeah, I'll say a two-part scenario in 2020. I'm trying to think, it was 2020 or 2021. I'll double check the dates and I'll confirm that for you. But I believe it's in 2021 we would have been contracted to create a mobile application called Accessibility Bahamas, which
Yes.
was done for the Ministry of Social Services here in the Bahamas, specifically the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities. And that application was created to to serve the community of persons with disabilities across the Bahamas. Through
Mm,
this application, that community is now able to access at their fingertips information regarding events, um, job opportunities, transportation, and other neat features that they didn't have access to before.
right.
Not readily anyhow, right? Um, they're also able to request an interpreter and reach the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities directly through the application. In 2022, that application was we were contracted by the United Nations Development Program to upgrade that application. So that was a great milestone as well. In 2023, we were then contracted by the UNDP again to
Mm,
this time create an application for the government of Bermuda,
yeah.
where we created an application called the National Disability Register, which was also done for persons with disabilities across the country of Bermuda.
Right.
Um, and so we launched that app in April of 2024. Um, and it's been very interesting because we're now kind of setting ourselves up to be recognized as one of the firms in the Caribbean that caters to persons with disabilities, right? Through accessibility friendly applications. So we're hoping to encourage other countries to also join that initiative, and
Mm,
cater to that community, um, as the Bahamas and Bermuda has now done. So we are proud to say that the Bahamas has the first accessibility focused mobile application in the Caribbean,
mm.
which was created by CSB Tech Emporium.
Yes, wonderful. Thank
Yeah,
you so much for sharing that lovely story.
thank you.
Yeah, so I guess in an IT industry, it must have been a very competitive market with so many players catering to different value chains and offerings. So, in your opinion, what are some of the unique qualities or like tech stack does CSB possesses that kind of differentiate itself within other players, competitors in this market?
So, I look at it like this, right? The ocean is wide enough that
Mm,
everyone is able to eat, right?
yeah,
But I think what sets us apart is our innovation and creativity,
right.
such as, pioneering products like Accessibility Bahamas, for example,
Mm,
um, personalized services where we ensure that each tailored solution meets the specific needs of our clients,
yeah.
um, competitive pricing, right?
Mm,
Where we deliver maximum value, as much value as we possibly can, with competitive pricing strategies. And
mm,
then, of course, we have a proven track record, right? So we have a history of success with prestigious clients, including government, enterprise, SMBs, and entrepreneurs. So we ensure ongoing trust and engagement because we have now created over 100 products, including websites, mobile applications, games, and custom software.
mm. Yes, understand. So in terms of the customer satisfaction, so can you please share with us a couple of key metrics that you use to measure the client's long-term business growth? And second, how do you ensure the information security for the clients? Yeah.
Okay, so some key metrics would be, so we use analytic tools to, one, we measure how much traffic your website is getting. If we're looking at websites, for example, we look at how much traffic your site is getting, but not so much just traffic, but also how much how much conversions your site is achieving. So,
Mm,
for example, if a website is selling a product and
right.
you are getting 100,000 views, but only
Yeah.
one sale, then it's not necessarily performing at its best, right?
Right.
Because it's not converting. So what we then do is we look at different strategies that we can recommend to our customer and say to them, "Hey, listen, this is what we think you can do to
Mm,
enhance your conversions. Um, and here's how we propose to assist you with that journey, right?
yeah.
Because we want to ensure that the customer is able to see the value in what we have produced, right? So
Mm,
most customers don't really care about deliverables, they care about results, right? So
right.
definitely conversions, firstly, because of course we focus on e-commerce solutions, we look at conversions. That's one of the big key metrics for us. Traffic is a big key metric as well, like I mentioned, but not so much as large as conversions. Um, uh, what's the other thing? So the I guess those two key metrics would be our primary targets, right?
Yeah, sure.
Um, what was the other part of your question? Because my
Yeah,
brain
so
kind of
I
went
was
off it.
Yeah, I was wanting to understand more about the information security policies that you
Yes. Okay.
established. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what we also do is we ensure that each application is secure from various levels in the tech stack.
Yeah.
So it is secured at the server level,
Mm,
at the networking level, at the server level, and at the application level. So um, we ensure that the networking policies are put in place to allow only certain IP addresses, for example, to be able to access the resources. The um, the server level, we ensure that the firewall rules are in place to also block traffic where necessary, to discourage bad actors from being able to perform certain actions on the server,
Mm,
and different things of that nature as well. And then at the application level, we have another firewall, a web application firewall, that also performs certain actions as well. So
right.
the last thing would be that we also do activity logging just to ensure that persons with authorized access, those things are being done effectively and efficiently, but also to ensure that these persons, these authorized persons, are not, their accounts are not being used in a malicious manner. So,
Mm,
those are the ways that we try to encourage security, um,
yep.
and its policies. And of course, if the client has any specific policies as well, we also we also put those in place too.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. It really shows that the employees in the company not only delivers the projects within the timelines, as well as the budget, but also goes above and beyond in possessing a sense of ownership and excellence, right? In the promise of delivering utmost quality and consistency with for the clients themselves. So
Yes.
I only have one question left, but it's more on an advising side because you see, Stephen, you have so many years, over decades of experience in the IT industry and as an award-winning IT professional as well. So are there any advices or takeaways that you'd like to give to young aspiring entrepreneurs out there who are looking to make an impact in the IT professional?
Yes, actually. So, um, recently I was acknowledged as one of the Bahamas's 50 most influential and successful professionals under 40
Yes.
in September 2023.
Mm,
And for me, that was a great accomplishment because it helped me to realize that, despite everything that's going on in life,
mm,
there's there are ways that you can influence the lives of others in a positive way. So what I encourage other entrepreneurs and small business owners, and I shall say owners of all sizes, what I'd
yeah.
encourage those persons to do is to keep an open mind, um, keep up with the trends that are happening in the world today, such as those related to artificial intelligence, um,
Right.
e-commerce and digital solutions, um, uh, and just other trends of that nature, because these things will have a major impact on how you maneuver the business world of tomorrow, right? Because it's not so much a point that automation is here to replace you, more so it is that automation is here to help you, right? So I try to encourage persons to keep an open mind to automation and artificial intelligence in particular, because there are ways that these tools can assist us with improving our own strategies and the strategies of our customers, helping our customers and ourselves to become more effective, more efficient, uh, more competitive in this ever-changing market. So that would be my major piece of advice.
Yes. Thank you so much, C. Stephen, for sharing the wonderful journey that you've been through and also how remarkable it is for CSB Tech to grow from a small repair shop to a trusted one-stop shop for technology services. Thank
That's
you so
right.
much. I have everything I need for this edition. We will work with our team to draft a compelling story live for you. And if you have any questions or any feedbacks regarding this edition that you'd like us to include, please feel free to shoot an email and we're very happy to take a look. Yeah,
All right, sounds good. I do have one thing I'd like to let you know. Um,
sure.
I am actually working on a book right now. Well, we published our first book. I'll show it to you.
Wonderful.
Well, we published our first book in April of 2024. It's called
Yeah.
Cracking the E-commerce Code, the Bahamas.
Right.
Our second book, which is which is being written for Trinidad and Tobago, is about 95% complete. And then our third book, which is being done for Jamaica, is about 40 to 45% complete. So
Yeah.
this book is actually a part of a series where we'll be covering all of the major islands and countries in the Bahamas. Oh, sorry, in the Caribbean, and we intend to provide information on e-commerce and how persons can get started with the technology, get a better understanding of what it is and how it can benefit you and your company, and of course how to maintain your services moving forward, whether it be through a professional agency like CSB Tech or on
Yeah.
your own, because some persons are tech savvy enough that they can do a lot of things on their own with the right guide, like our book. So just wanted to
Yeah.
quickly point that out. This is available on Amazon as well as so locally in the Bahamas. So yes,
Yeah. Definitely. We'll include that in our edition
no
as well.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, great. Have a great day ahead then. Yeah, speak to you soon via email. Bye.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.